Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Chainsaw Man episode number 6 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we begin with the fondling, the whole power situation. It happens, and yeah, I actually thought they were going to have kind of somehow, like just like how usually do, somehow going to stop that some way or the other, but it doesn't stop. It does happen. And but then she's like, now what I'm going to do. And then later on Makima gives him some more wise words of wisdom, words of wisdom, and tells how, oh, this doesn't, this is only going to feel like you thought it would if you have like an emotional connection to that person, all that stuff. And she says that you can do anything to me. I'll do fulfill any one of your wish if you're able to defeat the gun devil. And so here brings up the whole thing with the gun devil, and we get to know a little bit of a past related to the gun devil. Aki's family was killed by the gun devil, and yeah, we kind of get that get to know that via flashbacks, and obviously that's why he's trying to hunt them down and stuff like that. So now obviously the gun devil is very strong because gun that's supposed to be scary, and as we know, things which are actually fearful to people, they are stronger. Those devils are stronger. So obviously gun devil will be extremely strong because guns are related to death. So yeah, that's why it's this much big of a problem. Now later on we get to a new investigation, and we get to a new case where we get to know that a devil is there which might be related to the gun devil. Parts of the gun devil might be inside, and we are here to neutralize him and get that part back. Now what's happening here is we get to know more about the other team members, a few other characters we meet. I don't remember the guy's name at all. The girl's name is Kobeni, and I think the other girl, the one with the eye patch, is called Himeno, I think. Yeah. And obviously Aki's there, power is there, Denji. And we get to know a little bit more about not there, but Himeno's power. Himeno has like a ghost hand, a ghost devil she's contracted with. And we get to know more about Himeno and Aki's past. Not only that, we also kind of get to see that we're actually trapped in the hotel where we are in. It's like we're like looping, kind of going through the same place over and over again. So let's see what happens today. We have to get out of this mess. So let's begin. This is episode number wait, what episode was this? Let's begin episode number 6. So yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's kind of in a cycle. So if we go down, we come back from top. Oh, she's okay. Yeah, good idea. She's making sure if it's like a same person or not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what type of devil this is. Like showing hallucinations or something. Like, what is this? No, it's not a hallucination, I think. What is this then? Alright, it's a normal room. Oh wow, it's basically, oh, it's overlapping. So if we go out the window, we'll come back to the same room again. Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's okay. You go through there, you come out through here. As if it's interconnect. All right. Wow. Interesting. So it's like a kind of like a circle, like you go in from this side, you come from this side, and it's like you end up in the same place. You start moving in circle, that kind of thing. Okay. Hmm. He just- oh my god. Hmm. Oh wow. Okay. I don't think so. Or maybe. Okay, okay, there you go. Hmm. Yeah, that could be it. The other devil used that devil as a bait. No, I don't think so. We are trapped in this thing. Yeah. We'll stop to that. Oh yeah, we don't have food here. Oh, that's her goal. Oh, half I'm forced. What type of parents is okay? Wow. Yeah. Oh my god, Power's laughing. Alright, that's an overreaction. I feel like. Hey, you're spitting! Calm down. Yo, Power is like. Why is he? Oh lord, okay. So we are trapped in a time. Hmm. Frozen time. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. Oh no, Coben is going to break. Ah, yo, it doesn't work like that. You idiot. Okay. All right, everyone go to sleep. Oh my god. He really fell asleep. Wow. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, how much time has gone? Oh, we don't know because we are frozen in time. Okay, but we don't have any food. Oh, okay. Hmm. What about the others? Alright, okay, that's the thing. Damn. Wow. Oh yeah, where is she? What? Uh. Alright, you. Oh boy. Damn, he's scared. Hmm. Hmm. Relying on someone. Yeah. Oh, bad for the bone. Hmm. Sure. Ah, okay. What the? Who is this? Who was that? Oh. Uh, hmm. No, is he going to go and slap her or something? That'll be interesting. Um, a stock gun. Oh. I guess that's another way. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, that's one way. Master? Ah, okay. Hmm. Yeah, well, okay. We pretty much know what happened after that. Yeah, one time. Wow. I knew Denji was going to comment on that. Oh god. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, is it missing or something? Oh, it's getting bigger. That's even better then. Wow. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting bigger. I won't have a contract with you. Why Denji? Why are they targeting him? Oh my god, who's that? Is that Kobeni or Ara? Yes, Kobeni. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. She's gone crazy. Yeah. Oh. Um. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she has gone full. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's okay, it's not coming out. Yeah, that's why. Oh, interesting. That's why. Yeah, but her ghost is always with her, so that will work. Oh my god, is it? Okay, that became counterproductive. Oh, thanks for telling me that, telling us that. Oh, thanks for all the information. Oh, thanks for that. Wow, this thing just telling us everything. Yeah, contract, I guess. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, okay. He's like, what? Oh boy. Yeah. Oh my god. She's still. Yeah. It won't work. Yeah, like, what are you saying? You're going to keep doing this to. Like, like. What was it? I again forgot his name. Arai, wasn't it? I think so. Yeah, that's his name. Maybe destroy the building. I don't know. Hmm. Bored. Why? Food on the pen. Oh my god. I feel like it's Power. Power just ate it. She's like, I was hungry, so I just ate it. Yeah, I knew it. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, Kobe. Oh no, what does she understand? Yeah. Oh boy. Are you a spy? Yes, he's a spy. Oh my god. Oh no. Wow. Oh my god. Why did they suddenly get overexcited? I expand for fear. Oh, so all we have to do is not get fearful. Is that how we get out of this place? Eternity Devil. Eternity, there you go. Infinity loop. Oh my god. Oh! Yeah. Like the the devil is talking about his heart, so he's talking about actually Ochta, because what the. Oh. Mm. Oh boy. Oh my god, power. I feel like fear is the actual thing that is feeding this devil. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fear. I don't know. This devil is talking about fear and everything. Oh my god, she's gonna get even more fearful. Yeah, that's true. Hmm. Oh boy, that's a very deep wound. Oh, interesting. Oh wait, can she? Oh, she can. Okay. Yeah, like everyone was like, losing sense of their purpose. Oh my god, calm down. I feel like this is making everything even worse. Yeah. Oh my god, he is still. Yeah. Like I said, it's talking about his heart. That means Pochta. True. Forced it to kill itself. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And here we go. The chainsaw is going to come out of his. Are they going to end it here? Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. This is a. What's the okay? Is that it? Yeah. So that was this episode. So in this episode, everyone starts going little by little, starts losing their mind. Obviously, like it's this whole thing is going to affect them one way or the other. But yeah, so okay, interesting. So this thing is called the Eternity Devil. Makes sense why it's called Eternity Devil, because it basically kind of makes you loop around in like one place, kind of like it's like an eternity you are, and the time is even frozen again, eternity. So, okay. So this episode we start with them realizing what the hell is going on. They're like, oh, so we're looping. Like the whole hotel is kind of in a loop. We're going, like down the stairs, and we're coming from up the stairs. So that's what's going on. Now, here at first, Himeno, like this was an interesting thing that she told, like she was like, oh, Kobeni put like peace signs, like interesting, like thing. She kind of thought that, oh, maybe I'm like we're like going to like a different place, or like different version, like like the people that we're seeing here, maybe they are different people, and it could have been like that. That's why she was like, oh, make peace signs so that we can understand if it's the same you or if it's someone else. So she does says that, goes down, comes from the top, and realizes that it's the same person. So the people here are the same. Basically, it's kind of in a loop. So that's what's going on. Now, after that, huh, obviously they are kind of thinking about what might be the devil's power. This is like an interesting thing that's happening. Basically, everything is in loop. Not only that, Aki was like, all right, you know what, let me go to the room, here in the next room. He kind of opens the door, goes inside the room, and sees that a similar room is on the other side of the room's window. So again, it's like a loop. So basically, here was the door of the room, here is the window, and here again, in this side there's another room with the door over there. So he gets in from this door, comes out from this window over to this room, and gets out from this door to see that again, like Kobani was there, wasn't it? Yeah, Kobani is just standing. So basically, like connected. It kind of like makes me like reminds me of like a mirror, like the whole room thing, because it's basically a mirror, like like it's just, here's a room, here's a door, here's another room, another door, and it's connected. So it's kind of like a mirror. And not only that, like like then later on they also realize they even can't even go up or down. Like if they go up, they come from down, or if they go down, they're coming from up. So like vertical, horizontal, no way they can go. It's just a big cycle. So yeah, this is a problem. Now, okay, after that, we see they are like in one of the rooms. I love how Denji just goes to sleep. It's inside the blanket. He's like, oh, like a nice soft bed. Let me just stay here. Now, everyone else is just losing their mind. Not everyone else, but at that moment, only Kobeni was losing their mind. Arai. Okay, you know what? Let me check. Is his name Arai? I think that was his name. Yep, Arai. There you go. Okay, hopefully I remember it this time. Arai. He at first he was kind of like still not losing it, but he was still extremely concerned. He was like sweating and everything, and now this kind of shows us how like they are actually rookies, like Arai and Kobeni. Like I'm not sure if Kobeni is also a rookie, isn't she? Yeah, I think so. That's what Imano said. Like obviously this is the first time they're, I'm guessing, actually like fighting like an actual demon like this. So both of them are pretty much freaked out. Like can't blame them. However, obviously Denji, he has been dealing with demons, even though it was like minor demons like the tomato devil or something like that. Still, he had his fair share of runs with devils. So he is kind of used to fighting with devils, as we've seen. So that's why he's not losing his cool. And Power herself is a fiend, so yeah, she's not bothered by this at all. So only the two rookies here, Kobeni and Arai, they are freaking out. And like Kobeni's personality, we can also see she's a little bit of a scaredy cat, kind of. She gets scared and startled at a looking at very minor things. So obviously that, because of that as well, like she's getting even more affected. Aki was the most coolest over here if we exclude Denji and Power, and Himeno was also fine at this moment, but later on we kind of see even Himeno loses it. But other than that, yeah, like this place is just like frozen in time. We got to see the clock is even not moving, it's just going in like one place, is that it's not ticking. So it's like frozen in time. So at first they kind of think about, like, they were like, oh, will what should we do? Should we just wait for the like for the headquarters to send more devil hunters here, and maybe then something could happen? But then when they realize that, oh, like the clock is frozen, they're like, yeah, probably if only if they can only come here if they trip on, like, if they fall into the same trap. If not, we probably won't be able to get out of here because we're actually frozen in time. And it's no devil hunter will be able to find us. So, and they also kind of Himeno asks Aki about the piece of the gun devil, if it's reacting or not, and Aki says like it's not reacting at all, it's completely silent. So obviously makes sense, because this is like a different, I guess you could say, a different dimension or something, because this is like frozen in time, this whole thing. So the gun devil's thing is not affecting at all, like being affected. So okay, now Arai tries to cheer up Kobeni, but Kobeni is just like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, we're going to die here. I did not want to do this. Like I." And Arai is like, "Oh, like no, stay strong for your brother. Like because uh, your brother has to go to the university." I'm pretty sure she probably told him that. He probably asked her like, "Oh, why are you here? Like, why are you doing this devil hunting job?" And she probably said something like, "Oh, because I want my brother to go to university." And that's all she said. But here the original, like like the situation is coming out because of this situation. She says like like I was forced to join in this thing. My parents only want to spend my brother to university, and I'm told to make money. I'm like, wow, so that's yeah, that's kind of messed up. Like, wow, imagine a situation like that, your parents telling you to make money however the hell you can, and to let the brother go to university. Okay, that's a lot messed up in a lot of ways. I don't know what to say. Now, and she's like, I also wanted to go to the university, and she's crying. And you know what? I feel bad. I feel really bad for laughing, but like Power was also laughing, and I'm like, the faces that Kobani makes are like she's crying, and I, like I'm saying, like I feel bad for laughing, but the faces she makes are so hilarious. I cannot. I'm sorry. Like like seeing her cry like that. It's I feel bad for laughing. My God, what the hell? Oh, like Power. Power starts laughing. She's like, your face. And like I said, I'm sorry to admit, but I agree with Power. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I should not laugh. It's like someone crying like that. Like, I don't know. Like her face looks so funny when she. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop now. But anyways, Ara gets mad. Ara is like, what? What the hell? Stop laughing. Oh my God. Himeno says that don't be scared. Fear is the like the thing that makes devils go. So don't be scared. It's going to fuel the devil even more. Now, after that, everyone's like, oh, like Denji's still sleeping over, not sleeping but laying down, and they're like, why are you like laying down? Are you not concerned about this situation? And he's like, oh, like like it's frozen in time, so it's great. I can sleep however long I want to. And I'm like, I don't think that works like that. If the time is frozen, I don't think. Yeah, like I guess you can sleep as long as you want, but I don't know. But anyways, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep now. Like, and if after we find a way to defeat the devil, like wake me up. Okay, so later on we get to see that Denji wakes up, and Himeno wakes him up, and Denji's like, "Where is everyone?" And Himeno says like, "Oh, like things are kind of a little bit like concerning. Aki has gone out to find the devil by himself. He's like, yeah, I'm going to find this devil out." While Arai is freaking out, locked himself in. Kobini went completely crazy. She tried to actually drink water from the toilet. That's why I knocked her out. And yeah, so then he's like, what about Power? And Power is like just beside him, and she's like, wait a minute, what? Why does she start talking about Nobel Prize? Just a minute. Okay, let me read this part. She says, I have nothing to do except thinking about the Nobel Prize. Why Nobel Prize? What suddenly made her think about the Nobel Prize? As long as my invention wins the Nobel Prize, humans will treat me like a god. What invention? What invention is she talking about? And then I'll use the prestige to be the prime minister. Wow. I want to see humans struggling. First thing I'll first thing I'll do is to adjust the consumption tax to 100%. 100%. Oh god, this okay. She's okay. I don't know what to say about that. Oh, such a unique character. Wow, I've never seen any character say something like this. Okay. Now, I don't know where the hell she gets these kind of things in her head, these kind of ideas. Suddenly she starts talking about the Nobel Prize and increasing the tax. Alright, I guess. Now, after that, they kind of go to the next room to keep an eye on Kobeni and Arai. And now, okay, after that, Himeno's like, Aki is looking for the devil, so, like, so I have to keep an eye on them. And, okay, where is that section? Okay, here it is. It's my wish to live by relying on something else. Now, Denji says, like, you smoke the same brand, and she's like, oh, because it was me who, like, who taught him how to smoke. Like, I was the one who like, like gave him, like made him this habit. So we get a little flashback here about Aki, and Himeno talks about how you should start smoking because like to get more acquainted, like if you should want to get around and like like interact with people, you should try to smoke, he says. And she's like, he's like, oh, like I won't because my bones are going to get bad. And Himeno says like, we are devil hunters, we're either way going to die some, like some way or the other very soon, so there's no need to think about our health now. But we can see here that Aki, Aki's like this is the thing, like Himeno has this is the interesting thing. You can see Himeno has given up on her life. We can probably guess it from this interaction where she's like, oh, we're going to die either way, so yeah, let's just do whatever we want to. While Aki, he has still not given up on his life because of revenge. Like, because the revenge is there, he's still clinging on to life, and he's like, yeah, I need to survive up until I get my revenge. Now, that's the difference between Aki and Himeno. And I feel like Himeno, after seeing so many buddies die, like she said, like most of the buddies died that she had. like after seeing so many of her buddies die, she herself some way or the other has given up on her life, like after seeing death so many times in front of her eyes. Now at this point I feel like she probably just thinks like, oh, sooner or later it will be my turn to go, just like my buddies, I'll die as well. So that's the thing, like she basically has, she doesn't, what can I say, like her expectation of her life is not there anymore, while Aki is still clinging on to life because of her his revenge thing. Now Aki, Himeno guesses that, oh, you're probably here to get the gun devil because we are the only ones we can keep the gun pieces. That's why you're here. And okay, so yeah, and later on Himeno says like, oh, you better not die because it's so much trouble when a teammate dies. Now we very soon we kind of realize what she was talking about. Like obviously the emotional stress, it's a big thing, like if your buddy dies, it's like a huge thing. But other than that as well, so many other things, like like the other person has to suffer as well. For example, friends and family, when they suddenly meet them in the street, this happens. Like the next scene we see someone just slapping Himeno, and it was the lover of the other buddy she had, who recently died. And he's like, oh, this happens all the time, like they obviously they cannot do anything to devils, so they just let it out on us who are the devil hunters. And so yeah, I'm used to it. And here we see Aki just go. I thought he was going to go and slap him or something. But he doesn't do that. Obviously he does something else. He just sticks some gum in her clothes or something like that. Now I'm pretty sure if I don't know, like I guess I was going to say it would have been better if from this point onwards, like if someone slapped Himeno, she could have, like I don't know, like returned it back. But I guess it will bring a fair share of problems with that because they're part of the like the agency, and these people might go and complain. I feel like then it'll bring a whole bigger share of problems. So I feel like you cannot do that. If someone slaps you, I guess what Aki did here was the better way to kind of get back to them. But yeah, I guess. But it's still, I don't know why. Like it still doesn't give that satisfaction. If someone slaps you, you slap that person back. Like obviously if you are not in the wrong, if you're not in the wrong, if someone slaps you, slap them back. But like what Aki did here, obviously, is okay. But like I said, I don't think it gives the proper like justice to the whole situation. Like, yeah. Anyways, I still works, I guess. Anyways, so after that, Aki comes back, and Aki's like, she deserved it, and then he's like, like from this point onwards, fight for yourself. I like don't let people get away with it. And I got pissed off. That's why I did this to her. And she'll never realize gum is on her clothes. And Himeno starts laughing. And I guess this was the from this point onwards we actually see that Himeno started becoming more open with Aki. Like she became a better friends with her, because before this we kind of saw she still kept a little bit of a distance with him. And like the whole thing, like she was still kind of talking professionally. But from this point onwards we see like like she's just like like she's like they're like eating dinner, and she's like laughing and joking with him. And she talks about how like it's neither the strong one nor the brave one who who survives by the end, it's the crazy ones. So you'll seem a lot crazy, and that's why you'll probably live a long life. And here we get to see that Himeno is like, oh, like let's smoke, like I want to be better, like acquainted with you, better friends with you. And obviously at first he was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then when he sees like Himeno pleading, he's like, all right, fine, like one time, like the first and the last time. And oh boy, yeah, nah, that didn't work out well. Next we come back from the flashback, and we see Aki just coming in, and Aki's like, oh, is there another cigarette? Like, do you have any cigarette? Oh, you have one. Give it to me. And she's like, this is the last one. And he's like, oh, all right, then give that to me. You've not still, eaten, eaten? Still not smoked it. Yeah, smoked. I was going to say eaten the cigarette. You've still not smoked the cigarette, so give it to me. And yeah, like the first and the last time, yeah, everyone says that. Now, gives it to. I love the fact. I knew what Denji was going to say. I knew it. I knew Denji was going to comment on that. He's like, oh, like an indirect kill. Oh god. And Aki's like, shut up. And then he talks about all, like, what he found out. Okay, bad news. The devil that Power killed or defeated is getting bigger. So now they come out and they see that, yeah, this thing is getting bigger and bigger. Now this devil starts talking, and it starts, like, saying that I want to have a contract with you. Kill the human, let me eat the human named Denji, and then I'll let all of you guys leave this place. And oh boy, as soon as this thing says that, Hobini comes out with a knife, and she's like, I'm sorry, Denji, like nothing, like, we can't do anything. It's out of our hands. Like, this devil is telling us to kill you, and we have to kill you then. Like, and she just starts screaming and goes to attack her. Like, attack him. Oh boy. What's his name? Aki kicks the knife away, and Himeno punches her and makes her go unconscious. So, alright, now after that we kind of get an interesting little information here. Aki tries to bring out Kon, but he's like, oh, I knew it wouldn't happen, because, wait, he says like Kon's body is in Kyoto. I think that's what he says. The place is completely secluded from the outside world. The fox's body is in Kyoto. There you go. So, interesting. So, that means, so every time he summons the fox, it comes from Kyoto to him. But obviously, if it's like in the same dimension, this is like in a different dimension. So I guess the fox cannot come, that's why. However, Himeno, the ghost that she has, the ghost hand, it's always with her. So it's a different case for Himeno though. So Himeno uses her contacted ghost to attack the monster. And the monster is screaming, and it's like, oh, like, that it hurts. And then he says that, and it starts expanding, and it's like, oh, it's not my real body, I'm not going to die. So this is one thing which Denji kind of remembered this whole section, and later on he says this, that even though this is not the real body, it still feels pain. So let me just attack it and hurt it unless and until it goes crazy. Which is interesting, because, like, at this point I was like, oh, so you cannot do anything to this body. But it is true, like, even if you can't do anything to the body, when you hurt it, it was screaming in pain. So yeah, I feel like what Denji said was really, like, it's like one of the ways to get out of here. Like, it feels pain, so just keep attacking it. Obviously it's going to go crazy at some point, and then actually, like, undo the whole thing or something, or get out of here, and then the spell will probably be broken or something like that is going to happen. So that's an interesting, like, little observation that Denji made, because I genuinely did not think of that. Okay, so the devil is like, the devil's name is Eternity Devil, I think. Yeah, and he says that make a contract with me, and then only will let you go. Now Denji's, and I was also thinking of it. I was like, Denji was like, oh, but I doubt you're going to, like, keep your word. But Himeno says, like, no, like, you have to keep your word. If it's a contract, then whoever will not keep the contract will just die. So yeah, it is. If it makes a contract, you are bound to follow it. I guess that's the reason why. This is the thing. Like, the contracted devils, they are with. For example, Himeno has her ghost devil, and mm, Aki has Kon. So I guess that is the reason why they just don't consume you, because they're bound to a contract. The contract probably is something like this: that, oh, I'm going to give you my body part, in turn you're going to help me out. So if someone breaks this contract, if the devil suddenly thought like, oh, like now that I am, close to this person, let me just consume him completely, that won't do. That's going to break the contract, and if this that breaks the contract, the devil itself will die. So that is the reason why I guess the devils that these people, the humans, are contracted to, they don't betray them. That's why, I guess. And all right, now after that, Arai comes in and he's like, oh, like, like, then we should probably kill Denji, because now I can see one thing here. If this was someone else, like a normal human, I'm pretty sure Arai wouldn't have said that. But like, Arai has this, like, this is what's like kind of like, I feel like that's kind of making them act like this. Kobeni herself is pretty, like, scared and very timid. So seeing how the devil is like, oh, if you kill Denji, if you get his heart, then I'll let you go. Kobeni's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And that's making her take the decision that, oh, we have to kill Denji. While Arai here is not because of that, he's not doing it because of that. Obviously, fear factor is there. But the majority of the reason why he is like, oh, like, let us kill Denji, is because he's half, like, he's like a fiend. And like not fiend, but he's like fused with the devil, with Pochita. So since he's not human, that's why he is kind of like, because before we kind of saw him kind of multiple times saying that, why are we why are we cooperating with this half human half devil thing. So which obviously makes us realize that he's not happy about the fact that Denji is not human. So that's why he is, at this point, he's like, yeah, like it's telling us to kill him, why don't we do that? Like, unfortunately, there's nothing else we can do, so okay, here we go. It means Denji's death. Oh no, sorry, where is that part where he talks about, okay, here we go, we should kill him and go outside for any further discussion. We'll all starve to death if we don't do anything. The law allows devil hunters to make a contract with the devils. We should accept the offer. There you go. Like, everyone's getting completely, like, like, what can I say? Very much swept in. Yeah, like, swept away by this whole, like, atmosphere. And there's one thing that's quite interesting about this whole arc, is that what usually happens is that when you are introduced, like, to the new group, like every anime, like, main character, they kind of get affiliated with the group, which are the main supporting characters. I'm guessing these guys are the main supporting characters. Whenever that happens, usually what happens is, like, the first mission or something, like, they kind of, I wouldn't say bond, but they kind of get used to each other, and they kind of see each other's good parts, and that's why they become, a closely, knit group, kind of, and they become like a good team. Like, every anime has that, some way or the other. They kind of, like, have like a positive impression overall of each other, and that's why that's how they continue. It's interesting to see that here, basically the opposite is happening. I'm pretty sure, like, after what happened in this episode, except Aki, Power, and Himeno as well, I guess, kind of, Denji has a very bad impression of both Arai and Kobeni. Like, especially Arai, I feel like the whole, like, I'm pretty sure Denji is going to come out, like, survive the whole thing, and going to come out, and the whole thing will be, somehow it will be resolved. And like, and after that, yeah, like, the I don't know what to say. Like, the first impression of these guys in front of Denji Like Denji's going to have a very bad impression of them. And I'm not sure if they'll accompany us in future. I'm pretty sure they will in future missions as well, but that's not good. Like he won't trust them. He would be like yeah, you just the previous mission, you just kicked me down, and like you were just almost going to kill me. Like that's what you did, so I'm not going to trust you with my life. And it's probably going to like that's one way I can see this happen. I'm not sure how this is going to conclude. Let's just wait. But from this episode, what I saw, like I don't see Denji having a positive impression of these team at all. Like I said, what usually happens is the first time the usual animes, they work together with a team, usually positive, they get a positive impression of each other, and that's how they become closer and bond together as a team. Here, however, that is not happening at all. Like basically, Arai and Koman is just trying to kill him, while Arai is like, yeah, why not just do what the devil is telling us? And I can understand, I can understand obviously like why, like obviously Kobe is freaking out completely. She's just completely gone crazy. While Arai, I can understand that he's also freaking out very much. He's also thinking about his own life, like everyone's other's life, how they're going to survive. But still, accepting a devil's contract to kill your teammate to get out of this mess, nah, I feel like that's so wrong in so many ways. I feel like this is the situation. He's basically like Denji can be devil, fiend, whatever, but he's still your teammate. We have gotten here as a team. Like I said, I can understand. He's freaking out. Like I can understand his mental situation, but excluding all of that, what actually happening here is basically he is trying to accept a devil's contract to kill off his teammate so that they can get out of this place. That's wrong in so many ways. I don't know what else to say. But like I said, I can understand. This is his first time, in a mission. He's new to all of this, and this devil is just going to it's like playing mental games with everyone. So I can understand him acting like this. But still, it doesn't make the situation any better. The whole thing. Okay, so after that, we can see at first, obviously, what's his name? Aki, yeah, Aki was like, no, we're not going to let that happen at all. And while Himeno was also like, yeah, like if Aki doesn't want to do it, I'll also not do it. I also agree with him. So at first they were like, yeah, it's fine. I love how Power's like, oh, but I want to kill him. Oh, and yeah, Aki said like we only kill devils, and now after that we see they are still waiting and nothing's happening. They're just they're just spending their time just lazing around, nothing they can do about it. And they're like, we're going to starve to death, what should we do? And here Aki says like, we're going to use our sword, my sword. But here Himeno's like, no, you're not going to use it. If situation comes like that, then I'm sorry Denji, you might have to die. And at first at that moment we did not knew why she was telling him not to use the sword, but later on we get to know why. Okay, we get to see Arai is freaking out. Power has eaten the food. Like as soon as I saw the food is gone, I was like, yep, it must be Power. And yeah, Power is eating, and I love how Power is like, oh, Denji ate it with all the crumbs in her mouth. Oh my god, I love how Kobeni comes in and Kobeni is like, oh, I'm this. Wait, what does she say? I know now. It's all because of the fiend's power. That's why we can't get out now. Alright, tries to kind of say like, okay, calm down, Kobeni, and Kobeni's like, wait, why are you saying that to me? Are you a spy? You must be a spy because that's why you're covering for her. Like. And she starts waving around that knife, and Arai just screams at the top of his lungs. Now, alright, so, and then we see that the devil goes crazy, the eternity devil starts attacking them, trying to go towards them. And it's like, oh, give me the heart. And here is the part where I'm kind of felt a little bit suspicious. It says, like, I was continuously saying that, oh, it's probably using the fear against us. He said that Eternity Devil says, I expand for fear, I exist of for fear, be fearful. And like, they're kind of showing us the different scenes, the montage of all the people freaking out. Coben is freaking out with the knife, like even Himeno's kind of like sweating now. Arai is just, just shaking. And yeah, this devil is saying fear everything. And that's why I kind of concluded, oh, maybe it's using fear against us. If all of us stopped getting fearful, maybe this thing would break down or something. I'm still not sure if that's the reason why we're actually stuck here, but it might be a factor because this devil starts talking about fear. So who knows, maybe fear is an actual integral factor in this whole thing. Because as we can see, everyone here is actually getting fearful. Even Himeno is starting to get a little bit fearful from this point onwards. And this devil says, only I can kill the chainsaw. I am the Eternity Devil. Makes sense, Eternity Devil. Now the whole thing kind of tilts, like everything starts falling down, like sideways. And obviously Koben is like, oh, like kill Denji now, and it's an emergency. And here Aki's like, all right, Himeno, I'm going to use my sword. But then Himeno just stops Aki from doing that, and she's like, unfortunately, we have to kill Denji. Now, like here at this point, I cannot blame Himeno for acting like that because, like I said, this section, like she wasn't able to think what to do after that because it's that crazy. And she was like, yeah, like I cannot let Aki use the sword because it's going to cut down his life more. Because just a minute, what does she say here? Okay, I need to read this part. Okay, we can definitely get out if he uses the sword, but with the contract, Aki will die much sooner if he. Oh, so the sword also has a contract. All right. And she's like, he has a lot to do, so he cannot die like that. So I'm sorry, Denji. And obviously, seeing this situation, Arai comes and tackles him. Kobeni comes in with the knife, and Power is laughing like a maniac. Ha ha ha. And so Komini comes in and tries to stab, Denji, and Aki comes and covers for him, and we get to see why he's so much trying to cover for Denji. He says that he also wants to kill the gun devil, and I need every little bit of help that I have, that I can get to kill the gun devil. So I'm not going to let someone die who is going to help me kill the gun devil. And yeah, so, and oh my god, like Aki's bleeding a lot now. Then she's like, Power, can't you do something? Of the blood devil. And she talks about how she cannot do much. Like she can do stuff to other people's blood, but she usually uses it for herself. But she's like, yeah, fine, like like I'll help you this time and see what I can do. And she tries to stop the bleeding and kind of stops it, I guess. Now here again, everyone starts freaking out. Himeno starts freaking out. Himeno's like, Aki, what should we do? I don't know what we should do. Himeno is Koben is like, oh, it's not my fault, like it's not me. I love the fact she has a bloody knife on her hand and she's like, it's not my fault. Okay, so, and here then she's like, all right, fine, you guys want me to go and jump in front of in his mouth or something? You want me this thing to eat me or something? And he's like, all right, I'm going to do that, but this thing is scared of me, or like more precisely, it's scared of the devil inside of me, Pochita. It's talking about the my heart continuously, and I'm probably the one who can kill it. That's probably the reason why it's so scared. And he's like, then yeah, I'm going to jump, and if I die, I die, but I'll try my best to destroy this thing. And he's like, if I'm able to succeed, like don't forget about the kiss. Oh. And he's like, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep hurting this thing. Like this thing feels pain, so I'm just going to keep hurting it unless and until it lets us out. So Power is like, that's a devilish thought. And yeah, he jumps inside and starts the chainsaw. That's where it ended. So there you go. Very good episode. We get to see more of these characters, and I have to say, first impressions is not so good. Like, again, I'm saying I understand the whole situation. It's crazy, but still, the first impression about these characters are kind of a little bit, a little bit in a very complicated position, especially like I have to say I'm kind of like, like I can kind of understand Kobeni's situation. She's full gone completely. She's just full mad completely, I feel like. And I can't blame her for that. Neither can I blame Himeno, because she tried her best to keep herself steady up until the end, and then she broke completely when she realized, like, and she was like, oh, she was vehement, like when she was refusing to use the sword, so that's why she was like, okay, then you'll have to die. So up until then she tried to keep herself steady, but then she broke down completely. I can also understand that. But the one character that I'm not really so keen about is Arai, because he, from the get-go, he was like, oh, like, let's sacrifice Zenji. And like, I understand he's a half devil, half, I guess that's the biggest reason. And not only that, but also the whole situation is this crazy. So like I said, I can't blame him for acting like that, but still, it is kind of a bad impression I have. So I can understand all the other characters, like, why they freaked out and everything, but I don't know, I have a yeah, I have not that much of a good impression of him, because I felt like he was still there. His mental condition was still not as bad as Kobeni. He was still in his mind, but he still was like, oh, let's, yeah, this devil is telling us to do that, so let's just do it and get out of here. Like, you're a team, like you're going to sacrifice your teammate for a reason like this. So yeah, like that's like, I mean, he's the only character who I don't have that much of a good impression on. All the other characters, they're just I can't blame them. They, like, the situation made them, Himeno was able to kind of hold on, but Kobani wasn't. And power is power, like forget about him. I'm just excluding power completely. She's like that, so I'm I'm just power is an exception, like just forget about her. While Aki was the best one here. He was like, no, we don't do that. And like, I feel like he said that the reasoning why he's trying to save him is that because he wants to kill the gun devil. Yeah, that's definitely part of the reason, but I feel like the biggest part of the reason why he decided to save him is like because he's part of the team. Like, he said that before, like, like he's in our team, like, we only kill devils, we don't kill our teammates. And I feel like that's the biggest reason, and I can respect that. However, Arai was completely the opposite of that, and that's what's actually bothering me. I don't like that at all. But first time, he's a rookie, so I guess nothing you can do about it. He'll learn little by little, and yeah, hopefully. Okay, that's it. So that is my reaction to episode number 6 of Chainsaw Man. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. That's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week with another episode of Chainsaw Man. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.